Thank you, Mas Guntur, eh, Pak Joli, Pak Rene, yang saya hormati juga Bu Margianti, Prof. Margianti, rekan-rekan sekalian, Ilham Habibie dan Pak Ucok, Pak Eko, dan seluruh teman-teman sekalian, sahabat-sahabat sekalian. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Semangat pagi selalu, salam sehat selalu, salam sejahtera untuk kita semua. Puji syukur alhamdulillah bisa bersilaturahmi melalui acara yang sangat luar biasa sekali ini, Omnisci Indonesia Summit 2020, Big Data, AI, and Data Analytics. Sebelum saya membuka acara, izinkan saya sharing screen. Kalau tidak bawa PowerPoint kurang afdol. Baik, sebelum pembukaan saya langsung menyampaikan sedikit paparan. Jadi bagaimana we have to prepare for human resource for the future in artificial intelligence. Everything we talk about innovation, everything we talk about embarking on AI, all boils down into preparing human resource. As we know, the impact of these digital transformations transform the world we live, transform the way we do our work every day. As Pak Rene just mentioned, the new currency is information and data. Trillions and trillions of data comes out every day and flood us with all those informations. So this brings us to the innovation economy, which will be based on the ability to digest those data into useful currency for growth and development. What is good of this digital transformation is the empowerment of every individuals. Anyone now can get access into digital world as well as digital market, global market. Ini adalah satu peluang besar bagi kita semua, satu peluang untuk melakukan lompatan-lompatan karena setiap anak, setiap kita, setiap insan di bumi ini punya akses yang luas pada ilmu tentang teknologi, sekaligus akses yang sangat luas pada pasar. Jadi adik-adik mahasiswa sekarang bisa melakukan trading internasional globally melalui teknologi ini. Terlebih dengan lahirnya artificial intelligence, big data analytics, dan Internet of Things. Nah, perubahan ini yang kita kenal dengan industri 4.0 ini mengancam 23 juta lapangan pekerjaan di Indonesia akan hilang digantikan oleh otomasi. Tapi peluang lahir pekerjaan 2 kali lebih banyak dari yang hilang melalui kreativitas dan inovasi yang lahir dari teknologi dan pengetahuan. Tetapi banyak dari pekerjaan-pekerjaan tersebut yang saat ini belum ada. Jadi kompetensi yang dibutuhkan oleh mahasiswa saat ini belum tentu fit dengan apa yang nanti mereka hadapi di dunia 4 tahun, 5 tahun yang akan datang. Disruptive technology coming up anytime, every time, emerging and disruptive technology coming out from the research and laboratory, and they get into real world very soon, like the autonomous vehicle, 3D printing, additive manufacturing, e-health, smart city, all those change our world. The cyber world and physical world is now merging with all the opportunities as well as with all the problems, like the cyber theft, the cyber threat, that leads us to have cyber police, cyber law, and all this cyber world. So it is merging between the cyber world and the physical world, with augmented reality, virtual reality, even becoming more blur between the physical and the cyber space. We also already use the cyber currencies, and many game changers coming out from time to time. Smart farming is coming. Smart and intelligent city is developing, is growing. Smart health is also coming. Now you can have telemedicine, genome-based health system, and also which also pose a threat to us for privacy, for security, and we need to trust the computer, the cyber world to manage our health. The impact of AI on development is very far-reaching, from the government, industry, food, transportation, commerce, banking, financing, health, and of course research and education will be affected. The AI will bring to some estimates to some economists more than $360 billion to Indonesian GDPs in the next 10 years. So this has poised us into preparing human resource to materialize that, to make that reality. So this has been put into the Making Indonesia 4.0 with initially 5 focus on industrial target like food and beverage, textile and apparel, automotive, electronics, chemicals, and now extended into 2 more, new pharmaceutical and medical devices, which is very interesting. And all this will be, in the heart of that will be the development of artificial intelligence, Internet of Things, and all the technologies coming out from that. So this is the estimate of the economic brought by AI in ASEAN countries, close to 1 trillion billion, and 366 billions will be contributed by Indonesia economy. So to make Indonesia 4.0, there are 10 strategic initiatives that have been put in the blueprint. 3 of them very closely related to development of human resources, upgrading human capital, establishing innovation system, ecosystem, and incentive for innovation. So those 3 out of the 10 initiatives is very directly related to higher education. So that's why the Ministry of Education and Culture, Kementerian Pendidikan dan Kebudayaan, emphasizes the importance of accelerating the development of human resource in the country, transforming education into Education 4.0 in basic education, higher education, non-formal education, and to accelerate startup coming out from universities through entrepreneurs and sociopreneurs activities. In research priority related to AI, AI-based national strategic research agenda in sector space like food, health, security, industry, commerce, energy, and natural disasters, and accelerate the merging the marriage between universities and industries by downstreaming innovations, inventions into the economy, into the industry, so economic transformations and social and cultural transformations. So the synergy with industry and multi-sectors is very important to make the research and development in university relevant to the need of the society, the need of the industry in health, manufacture, industry, transportation, agriculture, marine and fishery, construction, defense, small medium enterprises, and many other sectors. In the basic educations, there are 3 aspects. One is the curriculum. To make the curriculum more holistic, 21st century skills being emphasized with foundational literacy, competencies, and characters to fit with the Society 5.0. Simplify the content, but emphasis on high order thinking skills and collaborative development as the very important foundations for the Industry 4.0, where collaboration, cooperation, cross-disciplinary is very important. And second, pedagogy and assessment. Student-centered formative assessment and computer-based adaptive tests is now being used. High order thinking skills is emphasized, and competencies on literacy, numeracy, and survey on characters and learning environment became part of the assessment. And third, the foundation for that is technology as enhancer. School digitalization. Currently, all high school and vocational high school already almost 98%, close to 100% already digitalized. But the next homework will be on the junior high school as well as on the elementary schools. So millions of equipments will be brought into schools to digitalize the school basic education. In the educations, first, the principle of Campus Merdeka, opening up the walls of faculty, the walls of departments, to make it more transparent for students to engage with other disciplines. So multiple pathways to achieve competencies. So student has the right of one semester from to take minor from other study programs, and also experiential learning by exposing students up to 2 semesters out of campus in industry, in bureaucracy, and whatever field they would like to work in their professional career. And second, link and match partnership with industry, student internships in industry, industrial training, industrial sabbatical leave for lecturer, for staff, for professors, young professorship to invite industrial people, professionals to also come to campus in doing research together with students and with the professors, and to train students with the better experience and better knowledge about the real world of work. And industrial research is encouraged. And partnership with world-class universities and also diaspora through partnership with institutions outside from overseas, top universities, global universities in the form of consortium. There are already quite a number of them. And joint research and project with international partners and student exchange, staff exchange, and world-class professors, inviting world-class professors to teach and to do joint research together with our faculty members. Higher education institution in Indonesia, this is a statistic totaling more than 4,000 higher education institutions with more than 8 million student bodies. And the ICT-related institutions, there are almost 700 institutions with 1,354 study programs. This is the data in mid-year, but now I think it's almost 1,400 study programs with almost 400,000 students in ICT-related fields. What we need to do is to accelerate the digital talent pools. First, we need to develop the National Job Competency Standard, Kompetensi Kerja Nasional, through SKKNI, Standard Kompetensi Kerja Nasional. And second, strengthening study program in information technology, computer science, computer engineering, and the related fields. Third, forming the consortium of university for talent pool and research in AI. We established the consortium of universities to establish Indonesia AI Institute. And fourth, collaborations with global tech companies to develop micro-credentials through Campus Merdeka program, especially in AI-related, deep learning, machine learning, big data analytics, Internet of Things, and the like. And accelerate AI and technology-based startups. So this is the AI Indonesia AI Institute, currently a consortium of 7 universities, but it can grow, it can expand depending on the development. With 3 main activities, pendidikan, penelitian, dan pengabdian kepada masyarakat. On education, strengthening the curriculum to bring curriculum 4.0 into universities, to accelerate development of AI talent pools through micro-credentials. Second, on research in topics like health, food, commerce, fintech, manufacture, and smart city, and also in community development through developing AI literacy, smart village, and small medium enterprises. So on accelerating AI talent pools and transformations, through Campus Merdeka program, we would like to accelerate the development of digital talent pools, school digitalizations, in which it's not only about bringing computers into classroom, but the most important is how to prepare teachers, how to prepare the programs to make use of the technology, to make the new culture of using technology. So this, through campus teaching program, students from university can teach and assist teachers in using technology and bringing technology into a classroom. And third, small medium enterprises digitalizations. University can help transforming SMEs into online marketplace, digital marketing, and to make use of AI in improving productivity and quality. and also to accelerate the development of startups, vision of new startup based on technology and AI. So we will prepare funding for creative ideas from students and professors into job creations, food security, health, and other economic recovery program. And another important thing is to strengthen the network of education and research in Indonesia. We already have inherent or ITRAN as the national network of universities. This has need to be strengthened to link this with the global centers of research like PAIN3 and others. I think we also need an infrastructure, national supercomputer and national data center and cloud computing. So to synergize the university with the industry, three incentives has been prepared. First, incentive for universities based on their performance, based on the key performance indicators, which basically aim at improving or shifting the paradigm of educations into better fit into the fourth industrial revolutions, into the society 5.0. 500 billion rupiah is prepared as an incentive for the performance of our PTN, of our public universities. And second, on matching fund, for the contribution from industry, engagement from industry with the university. For instance, if industry make use of innovation from university, and for that need to develop the prototyping, for instance, then the government will fund matching the fund provided by industry. So if the industry put $1, the government will put another dollars. In addition to triple tax deduction for the industry contribution to university research. So if industry spend $1 US in university research, then that can be counted into $3 of tax deductible. And third, competitive funding for innovations and transformations of higher education institutions into the 8 IKU or the Pembelajaran 4.0, Education 4.0. These two block of funding is accessible to public and private universities. So we want to accelerate the pentahelix collaborations between university, industry, government, society, media, and financial system. So to downstream the research results from university and to upstream the problems in industry into university research agenda. This is another thing that we would like to accelerate micro-credential on artificial intelligence and related fields. We hope that in 2021, we plan in 2021 to have many micro-credentials with Google, with NVIDIA, with AWS, with Huawei, with Aruba, and others global tech companies to accelerate this talent pool in AI through micro-credentials. And this will be linked into like small, medium enterprises, village digitalizations, and transformations of the economy into digital economy. In summary, in the elementary schools, we strengthen the curriculum to prepare students well prepared with the technology, like computational thinking, coding, high order thinking skills, school digitalizations, and also the use of technology in educations and assessment. And in higher education, the strengthening of higher education institution as well as study program and ICT related with competency 4.0, micro-credentials in AI, and consortium of AI universities to form Indonesia AI Institute. And in our formal educations, certified training on 4.0 competencies. And we also need to develop AI infrastructure like the national supercomputer and data center, cloud server and cloud computing, and national education and research network. So I think the best way to predict the uncertain future is to jointly, hand in hand, create it together. I think that is my introductions. And with the Bismillahirrahmanirrahim, with the hope that blessing from Allah Almighty, the God beneficent God Almighty, I officially open the OmniSci Indonesia Summit 2020, Big Data, AI, and Data Analytics. All the best of success. Thank you very much. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Para hadirin sekalian, yang demikian secara resmi, OmniSci Indonesia Summit 2020 telah resmi dibuka oleh Bapak Profesor Ismail Nizam MSc PhD dan para peserta untuk dapat mengaktifkan kamera untuk dapat diabadikan momen kebersamaan kita ini. Terima kasih. Baik, kami ucapkan terima kasih kepada Director General of Higher Education Ministry of Education and Culture, Bapak Profesor Insur Nizam, MSc PhD, yang telah memberikan paparan sebagai keynote speaker pertama dan juga telah secara resmi membuka acara OmniSci Indonesia Summit 2020 secara resmi. Dan kami umumkan kepada para peserta lainnya untuk dapat mengaktifkan kamera karena akan memberikan momen kebersamaan kita ini oleh para panitia tentunya. Terima kasih kepada Prof. Nizam. Dan juga tentunya apa yang telah dipaparkan oleh Bapak Profesor Insur Nizam dapat kita miliki bersama, itu adalah ilmu yang bermanfaat serta dapat dikembangkan dan diterapkan khususnya untuk Indonesia dan juga global. Bapak dan Ibu hadirin yang berbahagia, selanjutnya mari kita dengarkan bersama paparan materi dan keynote speaker berikutnya, yaitu ada dari Ketua Harian Dewan TIK Nasional, ada dan juga dengan keynote speaker lainnya yang tentunya akan dipimpin oleh Bapak Profesor Dr. Eko Budiarjo. Selamat pagi Bapak Profesor Dr. Insinyur Eko Budiarjo. Pak Prof. Eko dapat mendengar suara saya dengan baik? Halo, selamat pagi Prof. Eko.
Prof. Eko masih gini.
Oke, baik. Mohon izin kepada panitia dapat memberikan akses kepada Prof. Eko.
Ya, mohon maaf tadi belum dapat akses, saya baru mau coba untuk ketik. Baik semuanya, baik. Selamat pagi.
Ya, halo, semuanya. Selamat pagi Prof. Eko, Profesor Dr. Eko Budiarjo, the Chairman of ITKIN Association, ya Bapak dan Ibu hadirin sekalian. Dan Prof. Eko, mohon izin Bapak Profesor Dr. Eko Budiarjo untuk dapat memimpin jalannya keynote speaker ini dan juga hingga panel diskusi dalam menemani keynote speaker ini. Kepada yang terhormat Bapak Profesor Dr. Eko Budiarjo, dipersilakan Pak.
Baik, terima kasih Bapak Moderator yang saya hormati. Kita akan masuk ke dalam pembicara berikutnya. Pembicara berikutnya adalah Bapak Ilham Habibi dari Dewan TIK Nasional. Pada keynote saat ini, Bapak Ilham Habibi akan mengambil topik pengelolaan Big Data serta pemanfaatan AI dan data analitik untuk kepentingan nasional. Kita 30 menit, 1 jam kita akan mendapatkan kesempatan, tetapi kita akan bagi antara paparan dan diskusi sekaligus. Dan kalau kita lihat di sini dalam masalah pertahanan nasional, maka aspek kelolaan data saat ini menjadi penting. Keputusan dari kebijakan di dalam pertahanan sangat melibatkan perhitungan yang berbasiskan data. Sedikit